I don't think anybody goes through any type of addiction by drinking or taking a substance and it being horrific from the word go, because you would break free of it while you still had the chance. If the first thing it did was slap you across the face before the addiction really got hold of you, you would walk away from that substance. That's part of the trap, you know, what you're talking about, functioning, having a family, enjoying it, nights out, but there was always consequences. You know, I could never have a night out without being in a fight. Could never wake up the next morning without upsetting me, looking at my wife and knowing fine well I'd upset, I'd said something awful. And if that was it, that was it. And the rest of the time it'd been great, but there was always something. And as each month and year passed, them consequences got more and bigger and just became unbearable for me and whoever was around us.
So
it's progressive.
Because at one point somebody has to go, that's enough, I can't do this anymore, do you know what I mean? So at what age was it kind of getting worse and worse?
I was in prison. I had my 30th birthday in prison. I tell you.
What did you go in for, John? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it was GBH. I hit a bouncer with an ashtray in the town. We ended up in a fight, and I just recently bumped into him for the first time in a lot of years, and we were hugging, and I apologised to him and stuff like that. But previous to this, he used to like attack us from behind every time he seen us. But it was a crazy thing that happened between me and him, to be fair.
But this is one thing. But these incidents happened all of the time.
Like that type of thing,
It did, and it's just that one time it went a little too wrong, if you know what I mean, and it went too far. Is that the case?
It was revenge with me. I jumped over the fence coming through the back door. He was stood at the door, and I opened the door and I lashed him. It wasn't just something went too far. I went out my way to maim him. The mood I was in at the time, I was wanting to kill him. But I'm pleased I didn't do that.
So
and if he says this, you know, I think it's Owen, you know, I don't want to kill you anymore.
But that there, I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's the rage that you had at the time because of the mindset you're in, because of all the stuff you're going through. And then did you go straight to prison? How long was that for?
I got 18 months, and what happened was, I was in Durham for a little while, and then they moved us to what's now Northumberland. It was Acton at the time, and this is the bit I want to get to. So by this time, I've been in a while, and you've got a canny little group of friends going on, you know, and it would let you out every 3 nights for 2 hours recreation, bit telly, chess, stuff like that. We crack on not cards, but the computer games and everything. So this second time I'd seen this, what I thought was an old bloke, he was younger than what I am now, walking along the landing, in and out of his cell. And I says, does anybody know who he is? And everybody looked and just didn't care, you know what I mean? Nobody's bothered about anything. And I thought, you know how it is, he's just wandering about on his own. I've just noticed him. I'd noticed him the time before, but that was just like noticed him passing. This time I'm thinking, who is he? So I went over and I spoke of him, and I asked what he was in for, and he'd killed his wife. And I said, all right, I was a little bit took back. And I said, what happened? And he says, I don't know. He says, she was in a chair, and I come out in a chair out of a blackout. And he says, I had to phone the police, and they worked out I'd strangled her. But he said, I was a complete blackout drunk. He said, I've got no memory of it. And anyways, they'd accepted a manslaughter charge, and he was doing 8 years. And then he said something really, really weird. He said to us, he says, and I cannot wait to get out of here so I can get back on the drink. And that really disturbed us, you know, because, and I didn't mean to paint myself as an awful person, and I didn't want to say something I regret, but in that split second I thought I could end up in a similar scenario to him. This is where drink takes you.